Hey, good evening, everyone. How are you doing tonight? Good deal. Good to see everybody here tonight. Give you a few minutes here. Well, hello, guys. Dr. B here, and thank you for joining me for this live session of Truth Time here tonight, where we seek to bring you truth from a biblical and conscious perspective to help you grow in God and apply His Word to the world around you. I'm doing a special live broadcast here tonight, primarily just because I hadn't seen many of you in a while. Just want to say hello, see who pops in, and greet you tonight. Got a few things I'm going to share with you, and then I'm going to be out the way. I'm not going to be here very long tonight, so if you would do me a favor, if you would go ahead, swipe, invite, share this on out to your social media, I would greatly appreciate it. And we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a minute. All right? Wonderful. Hope you had a great day. Hope everything is going well for you and your family. Hope that you are still trusting and believing the Lord and standing firm in this hour and in this season. Amen. All right. Glory. I want to welcome you all to the channel. If this is your first time with us, thank you for being with us tonight. If you're a returning subscriber, hey, welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for your continued support. It's greatly appreciated, and I'm grateful to have all of you as subscribers and watchers and listeners to the broadcast. So today I'm going to be sharing just briefly here a couple things with you. It's been on my heart as I've been working with people and doing some things and kind of evolving some of the things that I'm doing and the people I'm doing them with. So I thought it would be very good tonight to just come on, share these things with you live instead of doing a pre-recorded broadcast and then going back and edit it and all of that, which I don't mind doing. But I wanted to just come out and have some interaction tonight, some engagement, possibly answer some questions if any of you that might have them here this evening. But today I'm going to be sharing with you three beliefs that all people have uh, that I believe is prevalent or pervasive in keeping people stuck where they are. I believe that there are some central core things that people have been holding on to in the form of beliefs that are keeping them stagnant, keeping them stuck, not moving forward. I want to help you kind of with that tonight. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Like I say, I'm going to go ahead, jump on into this tonight. And those of you who come on in the room, just let me know that you're here. Say hello. Let me know what you're from, where you're from. I'll greatly appreciate it. And we'll acknowledge you as we go through the broadcast. But I want to, and one of the primary things that I've been focusing on in this season of my life and what I've been doing is that I want to try to help save people some time and some energy and some confusion many of us went through when we were discovering our purpose, trying to understand who we genuinely are and what it is we've been placed on planet Earth to do for the kingdom. And if I can help anybody along the way, I usually try to do that, provide as much information and help as I can. And I want to help you overcome these three things that most people, if not all people, uh, at some point in their life have said or have believed or continue to say or continue to believe that I believe are keeping them stuck in mindsets and within walls and boundaries and not allowing them to launch out into some greater things. And I'm hoping this is going to be helpful to many of you tonight. But for now, here's just a little tidbit. I want you to do me a favor before we kind of get into the material tonight, if I could. So I want you to bring your mind in. I know you might have a busy day, you've been at work, you've been out and about doing some things. So I want to kind of just get you to quiet down for a minute, kind of take a breath, take a pause, and let's kind of get on one accord tonight because I want you to take a moment, if you would, and think about something that's been holding you back. Think about something that's been keeping you back. something that's been holding you back. Get that in your mind right now. Maybe it's an insecurity that you feel that you had since your early childhood or even later in life, something that you believe is keeping you and holding you. It may be a fear of some form of rejection or just moving forward or going forward, pursuing your dreams. It may be something that's preventing you from stepping out and being the person you've always wanted to be and to accomplish what it is you've always wanted to accomplish. And most of us already have something in our mind that we continually and regularly think about, this kind of pervasive or in the forefront of our thinking. Now, I want you to next imagine this. Imagine what would it feel like to be free of that insecurity, to be free of that fear, to be free of that phobia, to be free of that thing that's continually plaguing you or coming against your mind, saying that you can't do this, you don't measure up to that, you're not worthy of this. For if we get to the point to where we can grab that thing in our mind and realize that it is just a thought in our mind. It hasn't manifested. We sometimes have a tendency to believe that things are the worst than they really are. Our dreams, our subconscious thoughts, even our conscious thoughts, when we hear of some news. And I know we're accustomed to saying good news or bad news. News is just news. How we perceive it and how we digest it and how we ingest it determines whether we have assigned a value of good or bad to it. At the moment that it comes, it's just news. How we respond and act to it determines our feeling that we attach to it, good, bad, or indifferent. But that thing that's preventing you from living the life that you desire, the things that you desire to have and to see in God, and to accomplish what it is He's called you to do, when you can gain mastery over those thoughts and you gain mastery over those feelings and you can cast down those thoughts and those imaginations when they come, and any of us, it will be real and be honest, it doesn't matter how far we have come or how far we have arrived, we all still have those pervasive thoughts that initially enter our mind, that initially attack us. And those of us who've learned to develop the mental capacity to cast them down, to develop the inner strength and fortitude of spirit to be able to recognize those things when they come and not allow them to take root and take hold and impact us. We began to move beyond them, and you can do the same thing. And I'm beginning to call that process what I'm calling maximized transformation, the part of our life to where we are at the greatest height in God. We are at the greatest height of who He has created us to be, and we're doing that and we're performing that without any resistance, without any thought processes in the way, without any barriers or boundaries that we've erected to keep us from moving. But we're charging full speed ahead because we have been freed enough to deal with things as they come, just as things that come, and not allow them to be attached to a feeling or an emotion that gets us stagnated and gets us remaining still. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. Because I believe that there's three primary beliefs that all people hold on to and have held on to that at some point has attacked their life, has attacked their forward progress and their ability to move forward. And these things that I believe that I'm going to share tonight, we can all identify with. I know for myself, I have in time past been able to identify with all three of them. And I've said them to myself on various occasions in my past. I'm very careful today on how I deal with these thoughts when they come. Because as I said earlier, they still come and they will come. But you have to start developing the capacity to deal with them and to cast them down. And the first thought is, it's impossible for me. I hear continually and constantly in counseling and mentoring and coaching sessions that I have with people, they believe that what it is they're dreaming and thinking about doing or accomplishing is impossible. They can't do it. They don't think they have the wherewithal to make it happen, which leads me to point number two, the thought of I'm not worthy of it. Because I can't do it or it's impossible to me, then I must not be worthy of it. It must not be something that's for me or attainable for me. It must be outside of my reach or grasp. And then bring me to thirdly is I don't have the skills that I need. I don't think that I'm equipped enough to do this and to handle this or to take this on. And the truth of the matter, beyond the facts that may be presented, the truth of the matter is you have been created with everything that you need in you. And when you become born again, you come into a greater sense of understanding of that and what that means. But God didn't create you with any flaw, with any defect, with any shortage of anything. Through the fallen nature, we have to relearn what it is we were from the beginning. So things that we have been trained to think that are impossible to us are very possible to us and with us and for us. The feeling of unworthiness is a challenge for people because man has attached things to you and I in order to measure up to that determines our worth or our value. But when you get to a point to where you understand your worth is invaluable, no man or no thing can ever detract from that value. Oftentimes people struggle with this in trying to get a job or a career because they said, well, no man can pay me what I'm worth. It's not a matter of being paid for what you're worth because you're correct. No one can assign a value to your worth. God has already assigned the value of a life for a life. That's how much your life is worth. It is worth the exchange of another life. And a life is precious and invaluable. So we cannot attach a monetary value to life. So thinking that your worth is attached to a value system, you're already allowing a negative mindset to behold you and take hold of you. And thirdly, I don't have the skills to do it. We have the ability and capability to learn any and everything possible and doable. All we have to do is be willing to apply our mind to the process of learning and understanding and then doing. So there's nothing impossible. There's nothing beyond reach or grasp. There's nothing that is comparative to your worth. There is nothing that's impossible for you to be able to do or to accomplish. But these boxes that have been built and designed, and for many people have become prisons for their life and their future, find themselves operating within the confines of that. And one of the things that I've been doing is spending time with people to help them break out of the thinking of those boxes and those prisons that many people have created for themselves based upon what other people have projected upon them. So, how do you begin the process of getting unstuck? The process of breaking out of the box, the process of going beyond the barriers and the measures that people have set for you or that you've even set for yourself. First off, if someone is going to accomplish coming out of that or breaking out of that, it begins to, first of all, committing to the process of change. And I've been teaching about change and transformation on my Sabbath services on Saturday. And we've been learning some very interesting things concerning change and transformation. That is a process that begins on the inside and manifests to the outside. Begins with changing one's thinking, and then changing one's thinking changes one's actions. And if someone is truly committed to getting to the place that they want to be, then they will commit to the process of changing. The process of transforming, the process of growing beyond the limitations that have been placed on you, or that you placed on yourself. Someone who isn't paying just lip service to the process, but they're desiring and then moving toward and working toward true change. Say that 3 times or 5 times real fast. True change and true transformation means that it's an ongoing work and process of dealing with those things, those issues of the mind, those thoughts of the mind, those barriers and prisons that you are boxed into, dealing with those things and then breaking them down, reducing them to the point to where they become smaller than what it is you see and what it is you believe, and you become greater than those things. Someone who genuinely wants to change and is willing to do what is necessary have made a commitment to that process. They're all in. They've determined and decided, I'm going to do this. This is going to happen. This is going to take place. And when someone who genuinely wants that and is willing to commit to that and do whatever is necessary, they can't be stopped. They won't allow those things to continually pull them down, hold them back, and keep them back, even when they do come, and they will. You immediately recognize them, you deal with them, and you put them aside. You realize that can't stop me, that can't hinder me. It was just a thought, and I don't have to entertain it. I don't have to allow it to become a part of me. Now, I'm not talking about positive thinking and talking your way out of stuff and blab it and grab it and fake it till you make it. I'm not talking about that, because that's not true transformation. That's still mumbo jumbo and jargon that don't work. And many people who do that and are trying that realize it don't work. You have to put in the work. You have to diligently admonish yourself and remind yourself, hey, that's not something that's a part of me. That's not something that God has for me. That's not something that needs to be a part of my belief system any longer. I'm beyond that. I've moved past that. That may have been what was, but that is not what is. But the uncommitted person, the person who just listens and doesn't do, and we've got a lot of people who are sitting on the fence today who are just great listeners, but they're not doers. Because after they've listened to all of the words, they've listened to all of the teachings, they've listened to all the training, they've gone to all of the seminars, they've attended all of the workshops, they got all the books on their shelf, they can tell you how much of this they know and how much of that they know. When it comes down to measuring what they know against what they do, you find that there's a shortage there. And when we have people who are saying that, they're still stuck. They're stuck even within a belief system that I can gain all this knowledge, and that's what's going to help me. What's going to help you is moving beyond the knowledge and moving into the action, moving into the doing. You don't overcome fear by remaining paralyzed. You have to come beyond the fear and move beyond the fear. Because these type of people talk a good game, but they aren't willing to do. They aren't willing to do what is necessary to transform. They're really not ready to take on the strength and the courage that they need to step up and to step out and to go for it and to get it done. And I'm talking to both types of people today, those who are committed and those who are uncommitted, because the committed need to continue in the process, because it doesn't become any easier. It becomes more challenging. And the people who are uncommitted, who haven't made the attempt, you need to begin making steps toward that transformation. Because if you want to change, and deep down inside you say, I really do want to change, I really do want this, then you have to do something. It's now time to put that into action. It's now time to get up and to begin moving. It is now time to get up and to begin doing. Because the truth is, you like the comfort. The comfort zone that you're in, you enjoy it too much. It has become a safe place for you. It has become a haven. You can retreat to it and saying, I'm safe here. But after a while, that safe place no longer becomes a safe space, because it becomes full of negative thoughts, negative words, negative actions, that bring about negative results because it's stagnant, it's not moving, it's not progressing, it's not growing, it's not enlarging, it's staying still. So today, if you're tired of being broke, stop saying I'm always broke. Put a bill in your pocket. I learned this a long time ago. Here's a key for somebody. I learned this a long time ago. When I got tired of being broke, I heard a wealthy man in a seminar that I was in once. He said, I got tired of always saying I was broke, not having anything in my pocket. And he said it was simple enough and easy enough to solve. And when he thought about it, he says, if I don't want to be broke, all I need to do is keep a bill in my pocket and I'll never be broke another day in my life. And I've adopted that philosophy now some 25 years later. And I live by that philosophy. And he taught us to begin with a small bill, something that you can afford. Tuck it away in your wallet, fold it nice and neatly, hide it behind your credit cards or someplace, and always keep it with you, and you'll never be broke. And when I adopted that some 25, 30 years ago now, I thought about it. I started off with a $5 bill, and over the years, I've increased it up to a $100 bill, and increased it, and increased it. And I made up in my mind that I'll never be broke another day in my life. And from that day to this, I am never broke. So I don't say I'm broke. I may say I'm having a temporary cash flow problem. Money's a little short right now, but it's coming. But I'm never broke because I'm reminded if I look in that wallet, I have a bill in that wallet that I never spend for anybody, no matter how tough times get. We'll find money elsewhere before I spend that bill. Why? Because I've committed to the process of never being broke another day in my life. And I'll never be broke another day in my life. But if you're tired of being broke, get your bill right now. It could be $1. Doesn't matter the amount. The principle is what matters. Get a dollar bill right now. Nice, crisp, clean one. You want a nice, fresh one because it's going to be in there for a while. You don't want something old and crinkly and crumbly that's been smelling up and got oils and gas on it. Get you a nice, crisp, fresh. You can still smell the green on it. Still smell the printing ink on it. Fold it in halves and then again in quarters. Tuck it away in your billfold. Tuck it away in your purse in that secret pocket. And guess what? You're never broke. You're not broke, and you won't be broke moving forward. Why? Because you always got that bill. And as you're able and as you're capable, you increase the amount. Move from 1 to a 5, from a 5 to a 10, from a 10 to a 20, from a 20 to a 50, from a 50 to a 100. And then if you're blessed enough to get a coveted $500 bill or $1,000 bill, get it. Put it in there, tuck it away, and guess what? You'll never be broke another day in your life. That's a tip for somebody. I got a few more for you. Starting that business or that venture that you want, that you say is so hard to do, and you're finding so much trouble just sitting down and doing it. You know why it's so hard? Because you're thinking about it as a task. You're not thinking about it as something that you enjoy. That's something that you could learn to enjoy. When I used to have a problem trying to write, wanting to write, it was a chore. It was a task because I saw it as an assignment. Man, I got to write this. Oh, I got to write that. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to say. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. But then when I began to think about it, I said, wait a minute. I really love writing. I enjoy reading. I enjoy writing. Why am I having such a hard time writing? I was making it a task, making it a chore, and not an enjoyment. And when I sat down and just started writing for the fun of it, jotting down notes here and there, remembering something here and tucking it away, taking a notepad or one of those pop-ups, writing a thought down on it, filing it away. After I began to collect all of these pop-up notes and little pieces of paper and little things that I placed here and there, I began to have pages and pages, paragraphs and paragraphs of writing that I could bring together and create a collection. And now I write every day, 4 or 5 times a week. Why? Because I love doing it. I found a way to enjoy doing it. I didn't try to sit down and binge write all at one time and knock it all out at one time. I did it in small pieces and in small chunks over time. And over the days and over that week, I was able to compile a writing and get it done. These are simple things that if we take the time to think them through and think them out, we could create a better outcome for our life. We could accomplish the things that we find it so difficult and so challenging to do. I've got a whole list of them, but I'm not going to give them all to you tonight, because if I do, then you won't come back. You won't take time to come back and hear anything else because you figure you got it all. I've given you 2 to 3 right now that you can start on immediately and start moving forward and start seeing manifestation of transformation in your life. Because let's face it, everything in life is hard. Now you say, wait a minute, you just told us not to think in those terms. Wait a minute. If things weren't challenging and difficult to do and to accomplish, then everyone would be doing it, correct? The fact that everyone isn't doing it means that there are some challenges to it. There are some barriers there. There are some things that want to keep you from accomplishing it. And so it's designed that way so you press through and press beyond it. Because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. If it didn't require any effort, if it didn't require any labor, if it didn't require any work, if it didn't require any time, if it didn't require any money, everyone would do it, right? But because it requires some input in order to be accomplished, that's when the difficulty comes in. That's when the challenge comes in. And that's when we have to find the strength to get it done. The good news is you get to choose. You really get to choose. You get to choose which hard things you do, either the difficult journey or the difficult destination. You get to choose. Do I make it more difficult than it needs to be? Or do I accept the difficulties that it presents and just move forward with it? Take the challenges as they come. Take the obstacles as they come and leap over them, jump over them, and keep it moving. The truth of the matter is, if you choose the difficult journey, that's the transformation journey. That's the journey that says, I've got to work for the things that I want. I've got to change to have the things that I desire. I have to put in the effort to get the output of the things that I want in life. That's the work part. That's not hard. It's not difficult. It's challenging for most people because they're not accustomed to working on themselves. They want someone else to do it for them. You give it to me. You present it for me. You write it for me. You design it for me. Then what are you doing if it's just given to you? It is time to get up. We don't have to let the 3 beliefs keep us hindered. You do have what you need within you to get it done. You are worthy of having it, and you can accomplish it and complete it. It is not impossible for you to do. And no one is keeping you away from it or out of it but you. My prayer for you today is that you begin to tap into the inner man that lives in you, the spirit man that lives in you, the strong man that lives in you, and allow him to begin transforming your mind as you take on the new knowledge of the Word of God, as you take on the new information and the revelation. Let that begin to transform you from the inside out so you begin to say, I can do all things through him that strengthens me. There's nothing impossible for me. There's nothing that I can't do. There's nothing that I can't accomplish. There's nothing that is beyond my ability or capability if I'm willing to learn it and to do it. I can achieve it because I've seen it and I know it to be true. I hope this has helped you. I hope, I tell you, I need to take a drink, getting dry mouth and tongue tied. But I hope this has been helpful to you. And I've got more tips that I'm going to be bringing to you each week. I apologize. I've been off the scene for a little bit because I've been just so busy doing so many things, wonderful things, great things for myself, for my family, for other people. So it's been a wonderful journey. It's been an amazing time, and I'm really enjoying it. But I want to be able to get back on schedule to come to you, bring you some of this information firsthand, share with you, have you share with me as to what's happening. I want you to begin taking this journey with me because I'm believing that there's going to be people who are tired of being stuck, who are ready to move on and ready to move forward. And you're going to become one of those people. You're going to start pressing in and pressing forward so that you can see the changes that you want to take place in your life. Thank you so much for listening today. I appreciate you being here. I hope to see you again real soon. If this video has been helpful to you in any way, I would appreciate it if you would share it out among your family and your friends. You'll go back through it and listen to it. Leave me a comment, question down below on anything that you've heard or that you would like to hear or see, and I'll try to address it as quickly as possible. So until next time, thanks for watching and keep walking in truth. Shalom.